that. It is 19 minutes to 6 o'clock. It is Valentine's Day. And sometimes it can be hard to make it special. I mean, sometimes, let's face it, we try too hard, right? Reservations at a big fancy restaurant, booking some romantic getaway. Maybe it should really be as simple as the right bottle of wine. Natalie Maclean is a sommelier. She also writes about wine, and she joins me on the line. Good afternoon, Natalie.
Hi, Sue.
So, can I just ask you, on Valentine's Day, I just don't think, I'm going to have a romantic bottle of beer. What is it that links wine with romance?
Well, you're right about that, Sue. I mean, what other drink, certainly not beer, is described as voluptuous and curvaceous? I think wine is considered romantic because it is the drink of conversation. It's usually shared over dinner with other people or with your partner. It's a slow drink. It's not, you don't down wine like a shooter. So I think for a variety of reasons, and then just the pure sensuality of it and its aromas and flavors and its ability to go with food, it's really risen to the top of the alcohol pyramid, if you will, in terms of the romance factor.
I was reading an article that you've written about this, and I found it really interesting, some of the research on this, that women actually prefer wine to chocolates?
Yes, surprisingly. 60%, according to a Cyber Pulse study, 60% of women would wish their sweethearts would give them wine, not candy on Valentine's Day. And I think, it's something they can share. Certainly they can share candy, but I think it's probably something more you would have over dinner and maybe not as fattening. Can lead to other things, too, of course.
Okay, so, but what about so presumably we're not talking about just having a bottle of wine, right? We're talking about having it with dinner?
Sure, although my favorite pairing for wine is more wine, but it's very romantic. But yes, a candlelight dinner or a dinner out at a small restaurant and a great bottle. I mean, it's just there's so many possibilities from, your planked salmon or tuna, seared tuna, and a beautiful bottle of Pinot Noir, and then you go to the other end of the spectrum and you've got a juicy, rare steak with a big honkin' Cabernet. There's something for everyone, no matter what your taste.
Do you have some specifics, or you just go for those general varietals?
Oh, I can get as specific as you want. Kim Crawford Pinot Noir is in the SAQ. It's a lovely, I love New Zealand Pinot Noir because they tend to balance New World and Old World. So they're sort of a bridge between, say, benchmark Burgundy, and quite a bit cheaper than Burgundy, and the New World sweeter versions, maybe from California. So you've got that acidity that balances the fruit freshness. Kim Crawford Pinot Noir, the one I'm thinking of, is $22, so it's a bit more pricey perhaps for some people, but of course you want to splurge on Valentine's Day. And, Pinot Noir, I should mention, is known as the heartbreak grape, and I'm not being perverse in recommending it. It's called the heartbreak grape because it's so difficult to make and grow. Pinot Noir has a thin skin, like some people I know, so it's very susceptible to disease, rot, mildew. So when they get it right, it's sublime.
Wow. Okay, now you've made me want to try that. I've only had the white, which I can't remember. It's not
the Sauvignon Blanc, maybe.
Yes, the Sauvignon Blanc.
Terrific.
Yeah, that is delicious. What about, speaking of white, I have to confess, I have a bottle of champagne that I've been hoarding in my fridge. I was going to drink it tonight.
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
Yes. Yeah, tonight, champagne or sparkling wine from other regions.
Yeah, usually I have Prosecco, but this was a gift.
Oh, nice. That can just make any evening a celebration. What better night than tonight? And the bonus is that sparkling wine and champagnes, they are the most food-friendly wines on the planet. So you can pair that up with anything from fried chicken to, your seafood, your shellfish, or just potato chips if it's a sort of Bridget Jones night in kind of thing with a movie. So it's really versatile.
And what about, do you have any specific recommendation? Because, I really don't normally drink champagne because I do find it pricey, but Proseccos are pretty affordable.
Oh, Proseccos, yes. From Italy, you're going to pay maybe $15, $20 versus entry-level champagne, non-vintage. You're starting at $60, $70. So Prosecco, there's lots of great ones out there. Santa Margherita, Santa Ana. I'm thinking of all the saints now, I guess. But
what about the American ones? I know, yeah.
Well, they're known as sparkling wines.
Right.
Prosecco's only Italy, but you're right. It's still a bubbly. From California, you've got Domaine Chandon, which is owned by the champagne house, Moet Chandon, but your Domaine Chandon is only going to be about $25, $30. You've got also sparkling wines from Niagara, like Henry of Pelham, Catherine Brute, which is available in SAQ, again around $30. So you've got some good choices there, and you can zip over to Spain as well for Cava, which means cave, and they're also in the price range of Prosecco, so $15, $20, $25 max.
I don't want to show off, but I have a Veuve Clicquot in the fridge. I'm actually really, I even saved it over Christmas. I was like, no, I can't waste it on New Year's Eve. So,
Veuve Clicquot, she's the grande dame. Veuve means widow, as you know.
Right.
And so she was a young woman running that house the turn of the century, but Veuve is a robust champagne because champagne is always a blend of three grapes, Chardonnay, Pinot Meunier, Pinot Noir, and that leads with Pinot Noir. So you've got that really robust texture for champagne. That's a great one for salt and vinegar chips.
Yeah. You know, I'm laughing at your references because I did want to ask you before I let you go. People always talk about Valentine's Day, but you know, there are a lot of people who really hate Valentine's Day. So what if you are just curling up with a movie and a bag of chips? What do you recommend for that Valentine's Day wine?
We do like sparkling wines, but also I like to, on certain Valentine's days that haven't gone so well in the past, I like to break those heart cookies, like really break them with a hammer, and then pair them up with maybe an ice wine from Quebec or a hard cider. Great special, like Domaine Pinnacle or Neige, the apple ciders go really well with broken bits of heart cookies.
You're funny. Natalie, it's always a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you.
Have a good one, Sue.
Thank you. That is Natalie Maclean, sommelier and wine writer, and we'll put a link to her website up on our Facebook page, but it's nataliemaclean.com. I find that hilarious, smashing the heart cookies and drinking them with, a little Domaine Pinacle ice cider. Yum, yum. Actually, I just found in the supermarket a delicious sparkling cider by Domaine Pinacle. You can buy it at the supermarket. It's got a big apple on it. It's delicious, and it's like $12. So lots of choices out there. I'd love to know what you're drinking, but my text line is down. But I wish you all, whether you're bah humbug to Valentine's Day or whether you're celebrating romantically with a cat or a dog or a partner or a kid, enjoy the day.